but there are enough cases of things going wrong clearly for the Royal British Legion to think we must gather some of these key issues and concentrate political minds on them. Indeed, concentrate the minds of the nation as a whole. Well, there are a number of issues raised right there that the Royal British Legion is asking people to think about. The delay in inquests is one. They want improvements to that system so that we don't have families waiting 2, 3, 4 years for inquests into the deaths of their loved ones. The government argues that it is trying indeed to make improvements in that area. But also what happens to people when they leave their service, if they are medically discharged. How seamless is the transfer from the military medical system to the NHS? It's not seamless enough. Records are very, very hard to gather and find and pass on. These are all rather technical matters, but ones that the Legion feels are part of this wider compact between individuals and society.
Good morning. On behalf of the Royal British Legion and its 450,000 members, I would like to welcome you today to this event to launch our campaign on behalf of the Military Covenant. The Royal British Legion was founded in 1921 as a campaigning organisation for services community, and we found ourselves campaigning once again. Although the needs and expectations of the service and ex-service personnel and their dependents have changed over the years, we have always been there to safeguard their welfare, their interests and their memory.
Good morning everyone. Today the Royal British Legion launches a very timely national campaign of very great importance. It's a campaign to honour the Military Covenant. When called to their duty, our armed forces come to the nation's aid, and they do so without complaint, without reservation and always without fail. Sadly, the same cannot be said always of our nation when it comes to upholding its duty of care to the services community. This mutual bond of duty and care is known as the Military Covenant, a solemn commitment between the nation and its armed forces, past and present, and their families. The Royal British Legion believes that in some areas the nation has failed to deliver its part of the Military Covenant. The compensation paid to those left broken in body and health and sometimes spirit as a result of their service to the nation does not adequately reflect the sacrifices they have made. There needs to be much greater commitment to the physical and mental well-being of our service people and their families, and over the long term when veterans require healthcare services as a result of their injuries. And last but not least, we must provide much greater support to those left bereaved when one of our service people makes the ultimate sacrifice. We owe it to them, we owe it to the soldier, the sailor, the aircrew, we owe it to their families, the veterans and the widows. We owe it to all of them to honour the Covenant. The Royal British Legion acknowledges that great efforts have been made to live up to this Covenant, and we applaud the efforts that have led to improvements in medical care on the battlefield and in hospitals at home. We know there is a deep reservoir of goodwill towards our armed forces who enjoy the support of the public, the government and Parliament alike, but this support has to be translated into remedies so that the Covenant is fully restored. Over the coming weeks and months, the Royal British Legion and its supporters will be campaigning to restore the Covenant. And the campaign will be aimed at the Covenant's rightful custodian, which is the Parliament at Westminster. Our supporters will be calling on MPs in their constituencies, lobbying them in Parliament, writing to their parliamentary offices and holding them accountable. And we will be seeking cross-party support during the forthcoming party conference season, where the campaign Covenant will make itself seen and heard. We want all political parties to treat this issue as a top priority in their election manifestos. We know that the British public wants the best for its armed forces and wants to honour the Covenant with them. The Royal British Legion was born after the First World War as a campaigning organisation. There have been many campaigns since then, but this one has a very special focus, the Military Covenant. On our campaign posters, you will see the sentence above a picture of a soldier on our operations, which sums it up so well. The sentence says, "We can count on him, can he count on us?" The campaign starts today and we will not stop campaigning until the Covenant is honoured. Thank you.
I do need to say again that the kind of emails you're getting inevitably you will hear from people who say it is not working. You will hear many cases like that, but it does not necessarily mean that the system is entirely broken, and indeed that is not what the Royal British Legion is saying. But it is still obviously the case that far too many people out there feel that they are falling through the cracks in the system, and that the system is simply not generous enough or sympathetic enough to deal with them.
To those members of the Royal British Legion and to people who support your campaign, what should they do now?
They should immediately go on our website, thecovenant.org.uk. They should see what we're saying about what they can do. We want them to not just write to their MP, we want them to go and see their MP, either in their local surgeries, come down to London if you can. We want them to make clear to MPs that this is a #1 issue.
There's a lot behind that poppy then.
There's a hell of a lot behind the poppy, I'm glad to say. The poppy is the symbol for help for ex-service people. The public realise that, recognise it, and are in sympathy with it. And that shows through our poppy appeal every year, which again is exceeded all expectations and broke a record again this year.